lens around and stare into the lens. Okay, so I just left the theater. It is Sunday. It is, according to my watch, 7:10 p.m. And what did I just see? I just saw Black Panther. And boy, was this a really good film. I am thoroughly impressed yet again with Marvel pulling out all the stops. There's nothing, set this down, there's nothing, I was just thoroughly impressed. This was a very well-written story. I mean, you could, now that I think about it, you could almost even say this has a bit of, The Lion King in it. Just with the way the story was, like I said, it was written, this is just one of those things. Excuse me. Sorry about that popcorn. This is one of those things where Marvel, takes their time. This is one of those things where Marvel just really decided to take their time and go, you know what? Black Panther is going to be its own separate thing, that it doesn't need to be directly related in its entirety. Wow, if I could speak, to the Avengers story. But even though it's not a huge chunk of the Avengers story, they still somehow found a way to make a story out of it. And again, just the editing was well done. It didn't seem choppy in the least bit, like someone just randomly sat there and hit the cut button too much on the computer. The acting was great. They had a great cast, and no jokes, no nothing. I'm not racist or anything. Nothing wrong with having basically an all-black cast. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having basically an all-black cast in a movie. I don't need to mention that. It's pretty obvious from the beginning, or at least it should be. But there's nothing wrong with that. That didn't hinder the movie in the least bit. And they didn't even really bother to play down into that in this movie to make it any type of a racial thing. To say that, oh, this movie is supposed to be all about, racism and, black people and oppression and stuff like that. I mean, they hint to it, but that's not what the base point of the movie is in the least bit. It's not hey, we're in the 60s or whatever, and this is, Martin Luther King or anything like that, but it's more just to say we are a nation of great stride and people, and we've come a long way, and now we have to suffer just a little bit to kind of snap ourselves out of it, to say, hey, we need to actually get our butts in gear and help the rest of the world. And it was nice that they did include the I can't say for sure if it's the actual native language that they were speaking, but they were speaking a different language in parts of the movie, and it was a very nice touch to know that they weren't sitting there saying, well, we're going to go ahead and just play this in America, so they have to speak English the entire movie. No, they sat there and they said, this is going to play around the world, more than likely, because it is a great Marvel film, so we're going to have to make sure that we make this, international, so to speak. We are going to make them speak other languages, and we are going to show, a different part of the world, so we have to, make it look right. The Black Panther suit was well done. The backstory with the The vibranium was well done, and that was another thing that they didn't like overdo it. They didn't sit there and go completely out of bounds by saying, like, you know, hey, we invented time travel or teleportation or anything like that. They literally sat there and just said, we have advanced forms of guns and shields and stuff, but we could still carry on the traditions of our old people. So yeah, all in all, well, I did like to, the end credits were kind of well animated to hint on their sort of like culture and the way they do their art and clothing and stuff. That was well done. What else? Oh, the score was good. Again, that kind of had, as much as I kind of hate to say it, I guess, I don't know, but it had a nice like a Lion King feel to it. Like they got an actual like group of people together and said, you're gonna do some kind of like a, I don't know what you would call it, like a chant with drums and stuff like that, with a slight sort of urban 90s rap feel to it when they have a few scenes taking place in Oakland, California. You know, they get recognized for something other than the Raiders for a change of pace. But no, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it other than to say it was a really good movie. Very well done all across the board. Editing, music, actors, cast, animation. I don't know if I would have liked to have seen it in 3D. I saw it in regular. There were maybe a couple of scenes towards the end, a couple of fight scenes, where I could see them using it, but I wouldn't have appreciated that. Only because, I don't know, whenever I watch something in 3D in theaters, I don't know, it gives me like a slight headache. Great movie. 5 out of 5, 2 thumbs up, whatever you want to call it. Totally worth it. If you get a chance, I wanted to make sure I got this out of the way now so I could be a part of the conversation. Excuse me. So, by all means, get out to the theaters and see Black Panther. This is Larry coming at you live right out of the theater in his car on the way home. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I might go to the gym or something. So, please feel free to watch it and leave a comment below in the comments section and let me know what you thought of the movie. And I hope to see you again real soon for Infinity War. Oh, and there's an after credits scene, and then there's an after credits scene. So make sure you stick around for both of those as a little spoiler hint type of deal. Okay? Bye.